7, 8, 9, 10. I usually start at 15, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Greetings superior beings, greetings supreme being. Welcome to Universal Peace Television. So, today I have this broadcast. I switched to the video display capture. We need display capture and turn on the time and date so that we know what time it is, and turn off this nasty video, this live stream. The title is Two-State Solution World War Not Mentioned by Trump in Israel, Jesuits World War III Agenda Bones. And then these are the articles that I have found about this, because I use Google News, and then you can personalize that. Here's we see personalize, so you can Google how to do that. It's quite easy basically. Though I'm not seeing how to do it at the moment. You can just add things it searches on, like two-state solution. On Satanists, for example, and on pedophilia, because these Jesuits are satanic pedophiles. They have a satanic inner core, and with their voice of God weapon they try to give people the illusion that it's a deity, an entity. So one new idea I also have is Europe as a whole could make a new law to regulate the influx of immigrants. So you can personalize the subjects that it shows news about. It's all mainstream media, all CIA controlled. Project Mockingbird, mainstream media, the fake news basically. So that they cannot tell you about the cancer chemtrails Project Cloverleaf. Started in 1998, and before that there were no cancer chemtrails, and they have to pretend that they are cancer contrails basically, which they cannot be, because these long lines in the sky were not visible before 1998 when Project Cloverleaf started. So they can't talk about it, like they cannot talk about the possibility of a two-state solution world war. And I think it's best if I start with that little video of oops, let's do let's put it on HP. That's moi. I'm wearing rings today. I'm not a homosexual. I'm a heterosexual person in reality, but I do like beautiful stuff, and I think that some females also like it when males wear jewelry, masculine jewelry especially. So I am gonna check that video for you all. Yeah, this one is a piece of meteorite supposedly, but that's all not important. Let's go back to display capture. Alrighty. Up to 16 kilograms of grain are needed for producing 1 kilogram of cancer hormone cow meat. A living vegetarian is healthier, it's scientifically proven, but meat eating industry is a billion-dollar industry, so there are lots of people that are lying about it. And you do have to take enough B12 vitamin, otherwise you could die from becoming vegetarian. Then it would be unhealthier if you don't take enough B12. Oh yeah, immediately they're ticking my throat with their remotely controlled centipedes, these Jesuit pedos of Skull and Bones, John Kerry, the people that have planned this two-state solution world war, and that are apparently telling them with the voices in their head not to talk about it. It will have repercussions if they do. But in reality they're killed if they don't, because it could become a scalar world war and then all people without a Tesla plasma shield, including the pedo elite, would die. Because there are 15 scalar weapon countries. And I think they cannot control them all. I'm looking for a particular video. It's gotta be somewhere. Ah, there it is. Okay. But that's theory, so it is possible they control them all, that they have given these countries access to their synthetic telepathy machine, their brain control machine, which doesn't just monitor people but also controls their brainwave. And it can simulate any human. That's Project Immortality. So that's part of their no-talk programming. And of course Trump was also at the Jesuit dinner table with Hillary, though I think the Pope was not present at that, and he met him recently, which can also have to do with the two-state solution world war. And I think they may have met before that anyway, in secret. Perhaps before Trump became president. So let's do this. I'm gonna turn up this volume first, and then just turn it on, turn my mic off.
Universal peace. Now, this is Donald Trump. Prevent a two-state solution world by any means necessary, included in the two-state solution agreement that the allies of Israel and Palestine may not intervene if they go to war with each other to prevent a two-state solution world. Universal peace. Now, keys to you, well, Rick. Thank you for your idea for universal peace. Universal peace. Now,
so of course the president didn't really say that. It's a homemade video basically to prevent a two-state solution world war. And I think that they give the people the idea. Well, they're using several ideas to prevent them from speaking about it and preventing it. So it explains how to prevent a two-state solution world war by adding these lines. It's more important than that. Actually, it's one line, the line that says that the allies of Israel and Palestine may not help them if they go to war with each other, would prevent World War III in reality. And they don't want to prevent World War III, they want MAD to depopulate Earth to 500 million, a more controllable number, and create a Luciferian, satanic, negative dystopian global government to rule the world from Jerusalem. With their voice of God weapon, which was also used to make the Iraqi people surrender themselves. So the Manchester Arena attack was a fake attack, a hoax, according to many people. And also a false flag. I've seen them practice it before it happened, basically, but it wasn't the drill. The exercise was not at the same time, so that's why it was not a false flag, you could argue. Anyway, then we can move to the boring mainstream media articles, but they're not that long. One is on allgemeiner.com. That's German. So don't believe anything you read. They're the same people lying to you about cancer chemtrails, the killer vaccines, and that talk about spying on your cancer cell phones and emails all the time to hide synthetic telepathy, the spying on your brain waves, etc. Yeah, perhaps it's best if I start with more important info first. I think that the title basically says it all already. That Trump made no mention of the two-state solution when in Israel, conspicuously absent from Trump's agenda. So, and I was going to look up what conspicuously actually means. Conspicuously for you. So I'm not going to read too much, only my most recent writing, so that I know what I recently wrote about. From here, this might be a good point. Okay, let's do this for universal peace.
Fuck Bones two-state solution. World war plans, prevent 7-year nuclear winter, add to agreement. Allies of Israel and Palestine, Russia, may not help them if they go to war with each other. Fuck Jesuits. Lindis and Oval? No NWO. Anyone still on its side dies. I don't give a damn who you are. Dracula means son of the devil in Romanian. Foxy DC. Deaf to old Jews can be interpreted in many different ways. For example, saying the word deaf to old Jewish people because they are programmed to listen. Shema, the main Jewish prayer, means listen, in the sense of be deaf. Jewish people, do not help to enslave yourself. It's a neural network that serves the pedo elite, the Jesuits and Masons, and is trying to play you out against the Goyim and the enemies of the Jesuits. Deaf in the sense of excellent, you cannot see how it's written when spoken. Deaf to old Jews, not listening to people that are Jewish. Death to old Jews, saying death to old Jewish in the sense of kill old Goyim or in the sense of wishing old Jews death. It's a PewDiePie quote. It can all be satire. De-religionization now, universal peace now. Ulrich Kaufman. Spam could be a CIA robot to erase certain chat messages. Ulrich Kaufman. Peace to all in this chat. Unite SpaceX. Peace? Brother, all religion is war, all religion is peace equals satanic inversion. 33% of us are Christian, 20% of us are Muslim if we are to believe Wikimedia Commons. Alex Jones, David K., Eric Phelps, Lisa Haven, Christopher Green Arshills, Controlled Opposition. Anyone in this chat that believes ISIS is not Mossad? Ulrich Kaufman. CIA robots are posting in this chat. POW, air, gun, controls. Phil Douglas. If you were a Jew, you would know how it feels to have Trump selling weapons to Israel's sworn enemy. Chris W. Make Arabia great again. Trump almost.
So I agree with the idea that we're all brothers and sisters, not direct kin, not direct family, not brothers and sisters in the sense of blah blah, but in the sense of blah blah. It's hot in the Netherlands, especially in my room, because we're all descendants of Lucy and the hominids, and that means we all have equal rights. That includes the Muslims that were illegally, in my opinion, illegally bombed with depleted uranium war crime and the tactical nukes going off in Syria. And my advice to the ISIS people is go after the people that are responsible for that, not the innocent civilians that were against that. Not all the Americans were for that. Actually, a majority may have been against it, and it's their tax money being used. So it's not a democracy, but a plutocracy when running for president takes a lot of money. We continue the thing. Oh, it's hanging. Ah, there it goes again. Dropped frame 0. Well, it's the first.
Never makes a speech error. Is he hearing a voice in his head that tells him what to say? Perhaps it really is a DoD bot, a God bot, the Uber Quantum. Criminals often do not want to be filmed. The last known impact of an object. Trump almost never makes a speech error. Is he hearing a voice in his head that tells him what to say? Perhaps it really is a DoD bot, a God bot, the Uber Quantum. Criminals often do not want to be filmed. The last known impact of an object of 10 kilometers, 6 miles, or more in diameter was at the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event 66 million years ago. The minimum impact velocity on Earth is 11 km per second, with asteroid impacts averaging around 17 km per second. Hitler shut down the Rothschild banks, kicked all Freemasons out of the ranks, opened up the lodges for the public to see, freed Germany from Jewish usury. Eric W., some call it Goyim Revolution, possibly controlled opposition, flat earther, think tank, think RPG, go nuclear, waste. The House of NASA. How can you be not triggered? Possibly illegal remarks in fast-moving chat of the video. Live. President Donald Trump Israel speech, press conference Netanyahu, President Rivlin, Jerusalem snoot boop someone plaza assassinate Trump, let's love rules, John Alexei? Happy Armageddon? The earth is cubical, LOL, John Alexei Ulrich, it makes sense, I'm into, Vedic cosmology. Response to something else I wrote. Hybrid insects are real and so is the T4 nanobot. We will eventually get rid of all religion through education. Destroy the voice of God weapon. Do not kill all believers wherever you may find them. ITS illegal Jesuits DID 9/11, not a real job. ISIS is an American plot to destabilize the region, says Iran, Time.com. I have always doubted the source of the ISIS is Mossad claim was Snowden. It does not matter what the source is, only if it is true. Without evidence no one can convince me either way. Snowden and Assange may both be controlled opposition.
So perhaps the only way to make it legal to say that is saying God told me to kill all believers, basically. And then they declare you insane as well, probably. So I do think about this. I've added it to the article. Perhaps I can show you.
Labeling things and possibly lies that they want to spread is classified. I do not know if there is any evidence to prove this theory wrong. If there is, Skype ProLogic 999. Snowden confirms that al-Baghdadi was trained by Mossad Siyasat. Park. It's just psychological warfare, or not. The best way to control opposition is to destroy it ourselves, lol. The Lenin quote is, the best way to control opposition is to lead it ourselves. NSA doc reveals ISIS leader al-Baghdadi is US, British and Israeli intelligence asset. NSA documents add more detail to plan to destabilize Middle East. Kernimo. Infowars.com, July 19, 2014. ISIS, creation of the CIA. The Alex Jones Channel 387. So you must kill all believers where you find them is allowed as well? Get the balance right. The non-religion of peace, selling Qurans is still allowed, isn't it? Or is quoting the Quran allowed but writing the opposite is not allowed? You could argue it should both be forbidden. Jihad has been declared in many places. ISIS, creation of the CIA. The Alex Jones Channel, 387,367 views, published on June 23, 2014. Putin tells everyone exactly who created ISIS. Truth Stream Media, 11,807,930 views. The Jewish people were expelled from many countries, but so were the Jesuits. Though there is an anti-Semitic movement, I have not found any anti-Jesuit movement. Nazis are not purely anti-Semitic. The story goes they mix in racism, homophobia and extermination of mentally impaired people, which are pretty expensive to keep but create jobs. Any person can become mentally impaired, and there are ways to raise your IQ.
So, it doesn't mean that I want to kill all believers. Of course, it would be illegal to kill all heretics or all believers, etc. They may pretend that it's not illegal to kill heretics. But I want to get rid of religion through education. So the fact is, the Bible, for example, is a plagiarized collection of polytheistic myths rolled into monotheism. Collection of polytheistic myths rolled into monotheism that proves that it's a lie, and as a matter of fact, it's scientific proof that God does not exist. Okay, so let's continue.
There should be a movement that stands up to the people that are trying to depopulate the earth, against the infiltration of our government by Jesuits and Masons that should be rounded up and arrested, anti-racism, anti-homophobia, and that exposes the fact that Islamophobia does not exist because there are 164 jihad verses in the Quran, and therefore it is not an irrational fear. There should be a movement that stands up to the people that are trying to depopulate the earth, against the infiltration of our government by Jesuits and Masons that should be rounded up and arrested, anti-racism, anti-homophobia, and that exposes the fact that Islamophobia does not exist because there are 164 jihad verses in the Quran, and therefore it is not an irrational fear. If you do not regulate the influx of immigrants, Sharia law will be imposed upon you within your own country. Stop Islamization and expose religion. We need de-religionization through education. A movement by and for the people, that helps to protect and serve the taxpayers. Anti-torture, anti-government corruption. onawaytoday.wordpress.com. Exit Brexitor, Nexit, fuck updates. Better right use sometime or otherwise they blow up themselves as well. While just wondering if they used a timer. Warn the world, grave imminent danger, not just WW3, must see important spread intel. Ariana Grande cries after Donald Trump becomes president. YouTube if.
So besides all that, it's also very unlikely that a person would blow himself up without a timer bomb nowadays. In non-Muslim countries. In Muslim countries they may not have access to a timer, etc. Which over here they can get easily, I think over there as well. So there's always there's something wrong with it basically, but it usually, I think they do it with their synthetic telepathy machine by torturing people.
There are no pictures of dead people nor video, then I do not believe it happened, really.
So many people think that the recent Manchester Ariana Grande attack was in reality fake, that it was not a false flag, but a fake, a hoax. So the words to search on are fake and hoax.
Question mark, no Rasta flag in the emojis conspiracy? Fact LOL, C33, Jihad in Islamabad, OL alphabet agencies controlled by the Jesuit Adolfo Nicolas. 4 are twisted question mark at Ulrich Kaufman. They were detonated outside the security perimeter, because they couldn't breach security. The metal detector perimeter, I guess they can make explosives without metal, and the Jesuits and Masons don't care. They want to depop Earth. Control the 23 factors that control aging, invest in that instead of fake mission to Mars again. It's okay if your legs fall off, normal side effect, but you need a prescription, it's normal. 20,000 people, one video, drive out ISIS, give them jeeps. We didn't start the fire. The ISIS rocket attack on Israel foiled as missiles shot down. Daily Mail. Attack, or was there another one? Perhaps we need to disturb the balance instead. Dangerous theory or not? Nordic Muslim? Actually, it's garlic and honey combined. Mr. VTech? We intend to turn Europe into a mixed race of Asians and Negroes ruled over by the Jews. Count Kalergi Kaudenhove, 1925. Louis Cat? Ulrich sounds like an axe murderer name. Louis Cat? Ulrich sounds like an axe murderer name. I bought an axe yesterday. How can you know that, Louis Cat? Not planning to kill anyone though. Other things for that. You can make this sub. The no option illusion. Satanic noise Rivni. I inverted it.
So that was a person in the chat. These may be CIA operatives or CIA robots that write these things. And I had bought an X, and in the chat they wrote about it, so these people know that stuff. I also did another broadcast about a person, about another chat, but I'm not gonna mention it now. It's in my previous broadcasts.
Myself, the fruit of a slum gourd. Missing blood transfusion children. This includes a picture of a little boy who was at the Ariana Grande concert. Ariana Granada LOL, sacked. Sounds a bit like Shriana Grande. 20,000 people in the stadium, not one picture or video of the dead people. The no option illusion. Satanic noise Rivni. I inverted it myself. The fruit of a slum gourd. Missing blood transfusion children. This includes a picture of a little boy who was at the Ariana Grande concert. Ariana Granada LOL, sacked. Sounds a bit like Shriana Grande. 20,000 people in the stadium, not one picture or video of the dead people. Are they sure it was not an exercise? From the Fox News live chat, fake Muslim stories have gone viral after the fake Ariana Grande Manchester terrorist attack. Fake Muslim destroyed after false flag Ariana Grande attack. Fuck the X Factor trolls. The MSM can go die in a ditch with their Zionist NWO rejects, so no one actually believes the Manchester attack was real. They just pretend for the voices in their heads. Names of the chatters left out to protect them. Microwave psychosis. About 50% of the people in the chat believed the attack was real actually. Alex Jones left out the Jesuits did Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Their nuclear bomb was called Trinity as well. False flag fears over US mock nuclear attack today. Any news or comments posted in this article or video or parts thereof may be satire just in case they lied, and their lie is a crime, based in your face, eyes. Louis XIV. I have always been against the DU war crime, DE weapon torture and the use of tactical nukes in Syria. Now we get our ISIS reward. I have always been against the DU war crime, DE weapon torture and the use of tactical nukes in Syria because IT creates what most consider terrorists. Now we get our ISIS reward. Fuck the responsible leaders, not whole countries. Those that want to depopulate you or your enemy. Arrest all members of secret societies. Islam cannot win in predominantly non-Muslim countries. This is why we need to regulate the influx of immigrants. Islam is based on the lie that God exists, therefore it cannot win. I think it's cool that people can write anything in this chat, what they truly think or believe. Terror is TS. Do not lower yourself to their level. Get the responsible ones, not innocent civilians. Just as drive them out equals give them jeeps. Two wrongs do not make a right. The judge knows not to convict anyone without a fair trial, not to redeem a murder from the death penalty. Only death penalty for people that killed more than 3, and only when the murder has been proven beyond any reasonable doubt. Marvarin ? At Tanya Leonora Freud also wanted to fuck his mom and claimed that he subconsciously wanted to suck dick. Kerry Kaufman. People cannot help their sexual preference. How well they behave counts if you're judging someone or whatever. Religion may only be talked about to expose it. Theory, conspiracy. Facts are not theories. The Bible is a collection of plagiarized polytheistic myths rolled into monotheism which proves God does not exist. Mike Hancock? Ulrich give us, that Big Bang shit again. It makes sense. A. Fluid in space becomes a sphere, so our planet was a fluid mass with B12